Welcome everybody to another episode of This Xbox Life. We are in episode 410. Have you been Dishonored 2? I am Brian BJ Swick 33. Along with me is Rob, also known as Presar.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello, hello, hello.
Mark, also known as Wingman 709.
Hello, everybody.
And special guest Jason, also known as Democulus.
Hello, long time.
Oh yeah. So it's been quite some time since we've had Jason on the show. So
I was last time he was on, I used to call him demonic, I believe.
Yeah, no, that was the first time. I was looking earlier. I think the last time I was on was like two and a half years ago. I think it's been a while.
Yes, it has. But you are on here because you are a patron of the show, and we greatly appreciate it. You are in that tier where you get to come and hang out. And so we're going to let you go through all the topics, and we'll see everybody next week. So take it away, Jason. So now we have our show every Sunday between 10 and 10:30 Eastern Time on twitch.tv/this Xbox Life. And then we wrap it up, or Rob wraps it in a nice little package with a beautiful bow and pushes it out to the interwebs where you guys can download it, typically on Monday, and listen to it while you drive yourself to and from work, and so you can keep your mind off traffic. So I know that's what I do with podcasts. So. But all right. So, what's everybody been playing? Jason, why don't you go first? What have you been playing this week?
I'm actually going a little old school. I've actually been playing on my Xbox 360, so I'm still chugging along here. I have been on a Batman kick for some reason lately. I this week sat down and played the Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate that was originally on PlayStation Vita and 3DS, but the digital release on 360. And sat down and played it, enjoyed it. Beat it, I think it's right under 10 hours, it said. And I enjoyed it. Kind of the Shadow Complex 2.5D side-scrolling with some 3D elements in it. Enjoyed it. And then I had picked up the Batman Telltale series on both Xbox One and 360, but I started the 360 version first since I was doing that. And then I've also been playing Batman Return to Arkham on Xbox One. And I had posted on Facebook that I was playing all three of those this week, and then my wife and I were catching up on Gotham at the same time. Been binge watching on was it Hulu? I think it was on. We were watching it on, and it's like wow. But on that, I've been that's been it for this week. I'm just looking forward to all the new releases, like everybody else. But I got a little bit of Titanfall in, but I haven't got a whole lot done on that yet to really talk about it. I know Mark flew through it. But other than that, that's it, man. Just been on a Batman kick.
Well, you said earlier to me you were about 3 hours in, so you're almost done yourselves.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's like 5-6 hour campaign. So
Okay.
not long, but not short. I think it's a really good amount of time. So it's really good. So definitely, hopefully you'll have some time to finish that one up. I think you'll really like it. Great campaign.
No. Who's next?
Who's next? Rob, why don't you go ahead and go?
Sure. So I just played a little bit more of Gears of War, the original, and some Rocket League. Not a whole lot of action this week. That's it for me.
Mark?
All right. Well, I played some Battlefield 1, I think. I can't remember. I think I did. That might have been the end of last week. I don't know. But I do want to play it again because I real quick, I want to update people. I haven't confirmed this with Battlefield 1, but you guys heard me talk last week that it was choppy. It was even the campaign was like a slideshow. It was unplayable. That I've not had a problem with Gears. I did not have a problem with Titanfall 2. I had a problem with Battlefield 1 and also Call of Duty. So I was like, all right, this is like 2 games, super choppy, unplayable. So what I did was I changed, moved the games over to my internal drive and immediately confirmed that resolved the problem with Call of Duty. So I'm going to, I wanted to test Battlefield. I didn't get a chance to get back to it, but I would imagine that Battlefield 1 will work as well now without all the chop and the slideshow. And So I am looking forward to actually going and trying another campaign mission. Might help my enjoyment of it a little bit more if it actually works. So looks like there may have been a hard drive issue. So, but I did play Titanfall 2. Played quite a bit of that this week. I love it. I absolutely love this game. This is so much fun. And for some reason, even though I said I wasn't going to, uh, this last Wednesday, I pulled the trigger and bought Call of Duty Infinite Warfare with the Modern Warfare pack. I don't know why. I really don't. People have asked me this weekend when they saw me playing, they're like, "I thought you weren't getting that," and I'm like, "I wasn't." I'm like, well,
Like
why'd you
everything.
get it? And I'm like, "I don't know. I really don't know."
So you're the problem.
You know,
I'm
I'm
kidding.
I don't know why. I really don't. I don't know if it was just one of those. I just feel like I need to buy something, or I feel like loyalty to the brand because I've owned every Call of Duty game ever. That I just, the last one I didn't buy it when it came out. Somewhere along the line, I got bored and must have bought it because I don't even remember buying the last one. But and I never finished the campaign because I didn't like it at all, and I never played the multiplayer. So I'm like, why am I spending all this money on this game when I probably won't finish it? I probably might finish this campaign on Infinite Warfare. Um, I'm not really sure. I don't really have. Again, it's like people are raving about it, and it's getting really good reviews, but I'm just like, eh, you know, it, I don't know. It is different than other Call of Duties, and you spend a lot of time flying around in your jackal, but um, so I think I might be able to get through this one. There might be a little bit more to it. Braun and I played some of the multiplayer on it the other day, and it was different. But here's the weird thing, and I was telling this to Braun. Call of Duty has always been fast-paced multiplayer gaming, right? We can all agree on that.
Yep.
Okay. I couldn't help but feel like I was walking in Call of Duty multiplayer. And the only thing I can contribute to is that Titanfall is so fast that Call of Duty now feels really slow. It was weird. I'm like, and even Brun was saying, yeah, I'm sprinting, but I don't feel like I am. It feels like I'm walking. And I had the same feeling. I'm like, and they have the wall running and the sliding, but I had a hard time getting the slide to work.
Mm-hmm.
Where in Titanfall 2 it's just like boom, it's just like you hit it and it's just like your guy starts sliding and it's so much more fluid. Titanfall 2's movement, I think, Call of Duty to me has always been like the best movement, character movement. Everything works well. It's like you feel like you have control of the character. Other games I've always felt like you don't. Like you're kind of there's like a separation or a lag or just it doesn't quite feel right to me. Call of Duty's always felt great, and Titanfall is even up to that. It's just amazing, and I can't believe how slow COD felt. And then I went and played a multiplayer match of Modern Warfare, and I was like, "Wow, this is even slower." I couldn't believe how slow that game felt and how awkward the movement of like your character. I felt more of like, like when you turn, you're kind of like, almost like your whole body is shifting. Like everything's slow. It's not like the quick pace that we've gotten so used to. I mean, I loved Modern Warfare's multiplayer back in the day, and it's just weird to go back and revisit it. I want to go back and play some more maps, but what I want to do is I would like to get like a community night. So I would like to find out who else out there in the community has Modern Warfare, and maybe let's see if we can get an FNL going and just go in and have some fun, see all the maps. When the first map came up, well, I only played one round, but I was like, "What is this map? I don't remember it." Until it started, and then as I was running through it, I was like, "Okay, I don't recognize this. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what map this is." And then it was just like I started smiling and grinning, and I was getting destroyed, and I didn't care because I was just like, it felt good to be back in your old stomping grounds. It was just like really cool. So I'd like to get a group together and maybe just do a private match and play some Modern Warfare multiplayer just to have fun. And then lastly, I don't know why I tried it. I guess I was just I'm checking out the new Call of Duty. I went in to play the zombie mode, and I've never been a zombie fan. I've never been a fan of zombies in Call of Duty. I've never liked it. Um, there's something different about this one. I found myself playing quite a bit. I actually like it. And I'm not really sure why, but it's just you're like back in the 80s and you're running through this like amusement park, and there's something about it that I really enjoy. And again, I need some people from the community that will actually help me figure out what I'm supposed to do and will actually want to work together, because all the randoms just kind of go and do their own thing. I watched people walk past me, not even reviving me when there was no zombies around. It's just like, dude, I'm right here. Pick me up. You're not going to win unless you have your whole team. So if you're out there and you've got it and you want to play that Spaceland Zombies in the new Call of Duty, I will absolutely play it. It was something about it was neat. I like the amusement park. It's really funny. You got these clowns that come out, these zombie clowns that come running at you and explode, and just some crazy stuff in there that just makes me kind of chuckle. And I think David Hasselhoff. I swear it's him. Maybe it is. And I think now that I think about it, I think he was actually one of the characters in it. I found him. He's like a DJ in the amusement park. You can walk up and talk to him. Yeah, it's COD. It just was interesting how much slower it felt to me. But I'll report back more when I do plan to play the Modern Warfare campaign to see how that is. I want to relive that again. And I'm going to work on playing the Infinite Warfare campaign all the way through as well. So that's what I've been doing this week.
All right. Mark, it's funny when you were talking about like you had got the smile on your face when you went back to play Modern Warfare and stuff, and then kind of your comment of like you don't know why you bought it. It's almost it's probably you're hoping that finally this year is the year where it pulls you back in and you can smile and have fun like that again. Because to me, it's always like I've always kind of waited. Like I loved Modern Warfare. I played a lot of Modern Warfare 2, even with all the hacking and stuff like that was going on. But then after that, it was just like downhill for me personally. And I'm always looking for that. When's that one Call of Duty going to come out that that's going to bring me back in? And this year it did come out. This year was the year where I feel like I'm back at playing Modern Warfare and I have an awesome Call of Duty experience. Unfortunately, it's called Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
But no, like, I played Titanfall 2. Great game. I don't know why people keep talking about, like, sales of the game or something. People go out and buy Titanfall 2. Do not wait to buy
Freaking
Titanfall
awesome.
2.
It is freaking awesome.
It is a great game. It is fast. I mean, we had fun playing it Saturday night. And then, like Mark said, I did go in and play Call of Duty. It does feel slow. And I don't think there was any, like, it took a couple matches. We played, 4 or 5 rounds, I think. It took a couple rounds for us to, I think, get into it. But I was surprised. We were in this one where I think we were in space because when you died, your body started to float.
We were like in a space station.
Yeah, I found it weird that in Call of Duty, people were just standing still in a hallway. Like, people weren't running around, people weren't moving. It wasn't fast-paced, close quarters. It was, let me sit behind this box. Like maybe it's poor map design or something on their part.
Well, you could get around.
You could, but I was
just trying to find my way around.
Yeah.
You got to remember the maps are, excuse me, the maps are new. People are trying to figure them out. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm going to chalk some of it up. Like myself, at first, I just kept going to the same spot.
Right.
Because I didn't know where to go. And finally, I got tired of getting killed at that spot and making no progress. I'm like, okay, there's got to be another way around. And I did find it, and I rocked up to it. And I should have walked up and meleeed the guy because he was just laying there on the ground. But no, I shot him.
Yeah. So yeah, it does feel a lot slower than Titanfall. If anybody has the game and you go play Titanfall, go play. You'll find, like, I start running. I clicked in to run, and I felt like I was just doing like a Titanfall walk was their running. The funny thing is, like, I coach biddy league football, and when it comes to the end of the practice, it's time for conditioning. And it's that point where the kids, you can tell, who aren't running hard, but they want to make you think that they're running hard, so their head bounces side to side, and their shoulders are getting more into it side to side. Yeah. To make it feel like I'm running so fast, my head is bobbling off my shoulders, type of thing, to try to fool you into it. That is what Call of Duty's running feels like to me. It's like you press the button and your gun bobs up and down further. Almost like, yes, you're running now. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm not running. I'm, walking. I might as well be checking my pulse and looking at my watch to see if my heart rate's going up any. But there was that. And the other thing I didn't like, and Modern Warfare has always had great matchmaking. But I don't think there was anybody in our group, but it's like we got stuck. We're level 1s, and we get stuck with like a level 43, a level 40 something. And they got these guns, when you watch their kill cam, it's like pew pew pew, you're dead. And you're like unloading a clip into them, and there's just no way, the guy's like goes like 38-4, and you're like 5-17. And it's like, oh yeah, awesome. They're all like,
that's not against Call of Duty though. I gotta stand in and kind of defend it. Not defending Call of Duty, but just say that's the same with Battlefield, Titanfall, Gears of War, any multiplayer online shooter. You get nowadays, you rank up, you get better gear, you get this stuff. So
well,
that is kind of the nature of the multiplayer shooter world.
With Titans,
but it does suck. This was what, Saturday?
Yeah.
24 hours. I was teaching. I was like, well, Braun, it's been out almost 48 hours. Why wouldn't someone be almost a level 50?
Yeah.
It sucks for people that are just, okay, the first weekend, I'm just getting in. I want to find out. And they get annihilated by some guy that has no life.
Right.
We've already seen people genned up multiple times in Titanfall. And I was like, what? We saw that again within like 4 days of the game being out. Someone was already at Gen 2. I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, school's in session. People should be working. I mean, what are these people doing that they've got that much time?
Yeah.
That, so either they're cheating somehow or they just don't have a life. So
yeah,
I don't know.
There was a glitch on something. Somebody was trying to figure out how to get like double happy hours or happy hours, like for for 24 hours or something like that, and they ginned up a bunch. And when you party up, like, so what I mean by matchmaking though, and I understand what you mean, is like, I understood if when we were playing Titanfall, we had somebody who was a pro level, like in their 40s. A couple guys were in their 30s. I was like 15, and we were getting put against people who were 20s and 30s and 40s and stuff like that. I thought it was awkward that you and we were both level 1s. We were only in a party, and we couldn't get matched up with somebody, maybe within the top 10, ranks, instead of popping in and being, because then we thought it was funny when they broken up the teams. It was you and 1-1, a level 7, a level 9, and something else against the 40, 30, 30, 20, and I was just like, what is this?
Yeah, it was weird. It was, and that does kind of hamper anybody's enjoyment of jumping into a multiplayer game when you get destroyed.
Yeah. But that was the first round, and we stuck into it and played it. I agree with.
Knew we were gonna die.
Yeah, I agree with FNL. I think we should do a Call of Duty FNL. I mean, let's play the game. I mean, there's no biggie. I'm not knocking
Warfare, though.
Huh?
I want a Modern Warfare night.
Well, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
I want to relive some of those maps and just have a good time.
And I don't have anything bad to say about it. I was just pinpointing some of the things of like I would see people maybe having frustrations. I mean, I'm not bad talking it. I don't even. it does not bother me that the game is out, or I'm not against it in any way. I just know if I am going to play a multiplayer shooter right now, it would be Titanfall 2 or Battlefield 1. So, but outside of Call of Duty and outside of Titanfall 2, I played Battlefield 1. So, and that's really all I've done this week. So, cool. All right. Anything else before we move on? Nope.
No.
All right. If anybody wants to be just like Democulus here and become a patron of the show, you can go to Patreon. You can go to thisxboxlife.com/Patreon or patreon.com/thisxboxlife. Either way will get you there. Sign up, and it is a monthly thing. And if you hit the tier, you can be on the show with us, hang out, and talk about how much I am your favorite host. Or or if monthly thing is not, a monthly.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, this is something we've always had. We used to, back in the day when bring people on, he'd always ask this question. So come on, Jason, who is your favorite host?
Yeah.
Of course, it's you, Mark. If I remember, people can go check the tape on that. I believe I said Mark.
Yeah. So.
That's why I brought him back on.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of people that pick these. I got to bring those few that do and just have it repeat.
Yeah. So, but
boost my numbers.
Yeah. So if Patreon is not your thing, and you want to drop a tip, you can go to thisxboxlife.com/donate, and you'll be taken to our Muxy page where you can send us a tip, and it's a one-time thing. So we do greatly appreciate it, Democulus, for supporting the show. It's awesome, and never expected, but always appreciated.
You're welcome.
And for everybody out there that's has sent us tips. Awesome. All right. Into the round. Whoops, hit the wrong button. Uh-oh. I've done this before, I swear. So round table topics. We got, about 8 topics here, and then anything, if Jason has any certain things he wants to discuss for his show, then we can do that. We already kind of talked about Call of Duty, so I'm going to skip number 1. Unless you had anything else you wanted to add, Mark. I think we both talked about it.
No, I think we covered everything already.
All right.
Unless Rob or Jason have anything to add to it.
No, just the F&L thing. We can definitely try to do something. I played Call of Duty 4. I never got into the multiplayer. I've never been much on multiplayer with it, but I definitely would like to play if we would do private matches. We can set up some. I'm off again Wednesday this week. If anyone want to maybe try to get some people together to play. Cool. Something.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'd like to do a private match just with the community, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, 10 years ago, on November 7th, so 10 years ago tomorrow. Yes, is when Gears of War came out.
Wow.
So, yeah, I know, crazy, right? So they are going to be celebrating 10 years of Gears of War starting tomorrow. And what it is they're going to have 10th anniversary gear packs. So what you can do, so you obtain them exclusively through gameplay. Each 200 credit pack contains 1 10 years of Gears customization item, and 1 10 years Gears emblem or bounty, and a random card from the Gears of War 4 launch series of cards. The full list of content can be found below. I'm reading an article from Xbox Wire, news.xbox.com. So you got like Carmine character, Carmine long shot. I mean, there's just a list of things. So I have not played any Gears multiplayer yet. These are just like packs like Halo, right? Like once you play and you get points or coins or whatever, and then you just buy these packs, right, for 200 credits. Is that essentially what this is? Or same thing like Overwatch, once you get like a loot crate after you level up, or when you have enough to buy loot crates, right?
Yeah, there. Yeah, so you earn credits for doing, completing matches and I think doing various things. So you can buy these. Yeah, you can think of them as like a loot crate
Right.
in Overwatch. You can buy them, or you can pay with real world money if you want. So yeah, that like whole Mass Effect 3 comes into play
Right.
for me. I spent a ton of money on that. And I've been really good about not. I only bought one. I think I spent $20 so for one, and I'm like, okay, that really wasn't worth the money.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Well,
you can earn this. It just takes a lot longer if you wait to earn the credits in game.
yeah. How many
Which is
credits do
by
you
design.
typically get per round?
Let's see. So if I complete 50 waves of Horde, I usually have enough to buy like 2 of the Horde packs, which I think is about 400 credits each.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, that's cool. I mean, I know Halo's pretty forgiving with their credits and stuff like that when you can do their packs. Um, that leads me to one thing
but
for
50 waves of Horde takes you several hours.
yeah.
So it is there's some time investment there.
Yeah, as long as it's not like EA. Like, oh, you want that hockey stick? You have to play 600 games of hockey. Or if you give us $4, we'll give it to you right now. It's one of those things, and that's one thing actually I heard about Call of Duty. I was telling you about it, Mark. Is there's some videos out there. They're calling it Play to Win, where you can get different variants of weapons in Call of Duty, and
I did see that.
and you can upgrade your weapon. And they're saying basically for you to you don't have to pay for it, but if you don't pay for it to upgrade a weapon to its full potential or completely upgrade it, you have to play so many rounds that total up like almost 97 hours per gun, or if you
Yeah.
pay money for it. And it's just like that's the things that's a negative when it comes to these gear packs and things like that. If you want to put them in your game, you put them in your game, but I've even said it 100 times about EA. And definitely with the NHL stuff, it was just like, oh yeah, you can pay us $4 and get it now, or Tiger Woods, oh, you want that driver, that club fully maxed out? Yeah, just give us $8 right now, or all you'll have to do is play 3,000 hours of this game. So they just put it so far out of reach where you're just going to drop the money. The grind is so bad that you'll just drop the money for it. So
Right.
but
Yeah, that's the way all these things are going. It's you look at it like when Mass Effect had that, I think it was something new, now it's like every game you can buy stuff. Well, I don't think Titanfall 2 you do earn credits and you can unlock stuff, but at this point I don't believe you can spend real world money
no.
to unlock anything. So I like that aspect that it's all there. Everybody's got to put the time in to get it. But yeah, Gears, Battlefield, COD, all 3 of them have that type of stuff. So it sucks if you ask me.
Right.
Overwatch has it. I think Battleborn had it, I believe. It's been a while since I played Battleborn. You know, So yeah, I think you're going to see this more and more, especially with stuff like COD. I mean, they made a lot of money on previous games just with the skins for weapon skins when they decided they were going to monetize all of those.
Mm-hmm.
They made a lot of money off of that. So that's why they're doing it, because we keep buying this stuff. We say, oh, it's $1 here, $2 there, but guess what? That's how what's that? Those games on the phone with the like Candy Crush and stuff,
The stuff Rob plays.
like, yeah, all this stuff. Rob's very familiar with all that. That's why he doesn't. That's why he has no money to buy the Xbox games. He's sunk it all into Candy Crush, Extra Lives, and stuff like that.
And
Bonus
for the
Crew,
record, it's Clash Royale, not Candy Crush.
Clash Royale. So, but I mean, a lot of those games, I'm sure. Like I keep seeing the mobile strike. Arnold Schwarzenegger's advertising for that game on mobile. They're like, oh, it's free, and I'm like, I bet it's not.
No.
I bet you get into it, and then it's like, oh, well, I want to do this. Well, here's $1 there. There's $2 there. There's $5 there. Before you know it, you've spent $100+ on a mobile game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not free because we got to pay the governor all that money, man. He's not cheap.
yeah, I know. When he's doing the ads, I'm like, this. Yeah, there's some free game my butt.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was the stuff for gear, so you'll be able to start earning that tomorrow. So, but all right. A couple Diablo. Any of you guys Diablo fans? Diablo 3?
Yeah.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I played all.
So I love that game. Actually, we're getting ready to start playing it again on PC. I think a couple guys at work and myself are thinking about doing it, because of a number of things that they're doing. But the good thing for console that I don't believe is there now, but we've had it in PCs for a while, which is the seasons, Diablo 3 seasons. They're finally coming to consoles, which will be awesome. I don't know what season they're up to on PC. I want to say it's like 6. It might be 6. It might be higher. Let me see if I can look real quick without having anything blow up on my phone or blow up on my.
I think it's 8. One of my buddies has been playing it on PC. I think he said it was 8. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, no, I know it's up there. It's way up there. You're probably right. But so if anybody's not familiar with seasons, what it is, you just go in and play. You start a brand new character and you do whatever you want to do, and if you get them up to 70, then you start to get some special stuff, and then after the season's over, that character will then move into your group of other characters. So they are completely separate from what it is. So it's kind of a neat thing. I really do like it, and there's some people that play when seasons roll around, they just play nothing but hardcore, which is crazy in my mind. Because that's the one, if you die, you're done. You lose your character. You got to start all over. And yeah, it's pretty intense. But Mark, you put a couple other things down in here for Diablo. Do you want to go over 'em?
Sure. So, like I played Diablo 3 a lot. I've never played the original one. I think I tried the Diablo 2 way back in the day on PC. That might have been like one of those shareware demo levels or something that I played, because I don't ever remember playing really much of it. But Diablo 3 I bought, I think, didn't they release it twice on the 360? I think they had the original and then they came
Yeah,
out with a different
The
version.
ultimate loot edition.
Yeah, so I think I bought both of those. I think I've got every character up to like level 70. I mean, I've got some serious time in Diablo 3, and then I bought it again when they released it for Xbox One. Yeah, and I love Diablo 3. Well, they're going to Blizzard has announced they're going to release a remake of Diablo inside Diablo 3 as part of an upcoming 20th anniversary patch. They said it's going to, yeah, I think this is cool. So I can actually go back and play Diablo. Basically, it looks like for free because it's coming in a patch. So it's going to be a 16 level dungeon that will include the 4 main bosses from the first Diablo. The patch is called the Darkening of Tristram, will be free to Reaper of Souls owners. That was it, yeah. Yep. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls owners on both the PC and the console. So this the patch will be live on their public test realm next week. So we don't have a release date yet, but it is going to be tested out here pretty quick.
Yeah. That's awesome. I know a lot of people were hoping for a Diablo 4 announcement, like a new Diablo. I don't think it was, but they have put so much into that game that if you can find it and have always just been wanting to play it or whatever, I think it's like $20 or something most places you can find. It is such a good game. It's such a good game. So
yeah, and they're going to have retro touches like special graphics, filters, and 8-direction character movement. It'll be cool. I definitely will be diving back into Diablo 3 when this comes out.
Yeah. So cool.
Or as Jason likes to call him, what do you say? How do you call it? El Diablo.
Yeah, El Diablo. I didn't realize I was 20 years old. It's like me. Geez, man, that's back when I was in high school, man. It's like making me feel old now. The Diablo's 20 years old.
And I mean, I really didn't pay much attention to the first one. I remember when Diablo 2 came out, that's when I was in college, and one of the people I was in school with got like an early access to it. And somebody else in my class that I'm friends with, he was like, no way. He's like, we got to go over to your house like right now. So we had to go over to his house and watch him play Diablo 2. And I'm just like, what is this game? And they both looked at me like I, shouldn't exist in the computer world. But then they let me borrow the first Diablo, and I started playing it. And I remember getting to the first boss, and it's fresh meat. So.
Yeah.
But
the butcher.
Yeah.
I remember.
yeah,
I remember I played that.
Oh,
Me and my
yeah.
buddies were all. Yeah, we were all addicted in high school. On Diablo 1, Diablo 2 came out. We played it for I don't know how many months straight. We played.
and then the butcher's back in the third one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've beaten him up numerous times in Diablo 3. So, but yeah.
Oh, we also got more stuff coming.
Yep.
So Diablo 2's Necromancer is returning in Diablo 3 in Rise of the Necromancer. This will be a new pack coming out next year with no set price or release date yet. What you're going to get is the Necromancer as a playable character. You'll also receive an in-game pet, 2 additional character slots, 2 additional stash tabs on the PC anyways. A portrait frame, pennant, banner, and banner sigil. So there will be some paid DLC coming to Diablo 3.
Yeah. Did it say if it was day and date with PC and console, or is that just console first? Or I meant PC first.
It doesn't say.
Okay. Because I'm curious, because I know it's obviously PC, but I haven't heard anything about console, because I know they lag behind on the console for their game. Because it wasn't until Reaper of Souls was out before they went to the console. And that was actually well after Reaper of Souls was out. But yeah, I'm definitely picking that up the day it comes out. So,
Oh, absolutely.
that'll be fun. But, all right. Does this snow in Australia?
Trying to remember the answer to that. Someone talked about it in the Facebook group. We have listeners in Australia, and I think they said it's very rare. But it is coming to Forza Horizon 3. So,
Oh, yeah.
Turn 10 slipped a teaser image for this. Will be the first expansion, Forza Horizon 3, and it shows the I don't remember which Lamborghini this is. It's the new one, but it's driving through snow, man.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. It says Tasmania also sees snow during winter, and on rare occasions, snow has been known to fall in mountain areas of South Australia.
I bet they have snow cones somewhere.
Yeah, it says Victoria, the High Country region, located a few hours from Melbourne, however they would like to say it, has good snowfalls throughout winter. So there you go. It does snow.
This I think is cool because with Forza Horizon 2, they released Storm Island, which I thought was some of the best DLC for a game. I really enjoyed it. It added some great weather effects into that game and impacted your car's driving ability. I'm born and raised in the north. I don't live there now. From my own understanding, they don't get a lot of snow out where I live now. But I grew up in snow country. So
Actually, aren't you further north now? Technically,
look, I maybe by a few miles.
Okay.
But I probably, or I might be really darn close to being perfectly in line. So, no, you know what? From where the folks are, yes, I'm further north. But from where I grew up, no, I'm probably about the same from the Canadian border as I was then. But
if it wasn't for that ocean that you're next to, it'd probably snow.
Yeah, it's that ocean that keeps everything warm over here in the winter. So,
Yeah.
but I'll know if these cars react correctly. So I'm looking forward to driving in virtual snow.
I have no idea. I've never driven in snow. Being in Texas,
Oh,
very
man.
rare. We get now in northern Texas they get snow, but South Texas here it's rare. We get it once every few years and maybe a couple inches. That's it.
Everything probably shuts down, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Because people don't know how to deal with it down here.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
this white stuff falling from the sky? It's the
Yeah.
end of the world.
I mean, when Wing and Rob, obviously Rob's still in Chicago. I mean, you get that lake effect snow. I'm in Ohio, and
Yeah.
I'm Southern Ohio,
We're,
so
we're
I'm
on
not.
the wrong side for the lake effect.
Oh yeah, are you? Oh yeah, you are, aren't you? Yeah.
We
Ohio,
just get snow.
yeah. Northern Ohio just gets nailed with snow. But I'm in Southern Ohio, but I'll have to drive to work, and there'll be like 4 or 5 inches of snow, and I'll be driving to work, and then when I get driving home, it's like a foot, a foot of snow. Cruising 80 down the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one night I used to work north of where Rob lived, and in Chicago, man, the blizzards always come in at 5 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Oh.
Always.
Every
They always
time.
come in at rush hour. So I
Yes.
remember calling him one day. I was like, "Hey, dude, are you home?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, I want to come crash and hang at your place for a few hours because I don't want to spend 6 hours driving through the blizzard trying to get home." So I hung out at his place all evening and then waited till most of the idiots were off the road and then went back, ventured out, and headed home.
Yeah. I already have an hour drive as it is, and when it snows that bad, my drive turns into like 3 hours one way.
Yeah.
So pretty bad.
All right.
But
so
okay, good. Continue.
I don't think it'll affect our commute in Forza 3, though.
Yeah.
So, switching tabs. I think, yeah, these last two are for me. I know we've got a lot of, oh, I don't want to hear your ads. Thank you. More from BlizzCon. Overwatch's Sombra has finally been confirmed. So this is she's a powerful infiltrator. Her abilities include, this is for Overwatch, in case I didn't say that, sorry. Her abilities include a machine pistol, the ability to hack enemies so they temporarily can't use their abilities. Ooh, gee. The thermoptic camo that makes her invisible for a short period of time.
Mhm.
She can also throw out a translocator beacon that can allow her to instantly return to the beacon's location at any time while it's active. Sombra can also employ an EMP that will destroy enemy barriers and shields and hack all enemies in range. Also, a new control map, Oasis, has also been announced, as well as the new arena map called Eco Point Antarctica. A new arcade mode will be added featuring 2 new game types, including 1v1 and 3v3 arena style mode. Sombra, Arcade, and Echo Point Antarctica will be in the public test realm next week, and Oasis is coming in December.
Yeah, the one thing about that beacon I don't like is people are going to be able to throw that in areas and just teleport up, and nobody's going to be able to get to you.
Mhm.
That's what I'm dreading. So, but
And I thought there was another. I could have swore I saw another character announced just the other day, and I think I missed it. But I could have swore there was another one announced.
oh, just one that I know of.
So it's just Sombra.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's the
Okay.
second character they've added since launch.
And lastly, the last one I had was for Ghost Recon Wildlands. I actually got an email invite to join the. It was. Oh, great! Hopefully you don't hear that.
Nope.
No, I had an ad go playing anyways, even though I hit pause.
Oh,
Gotta love certain sites that bombast you with 3 advertisements when you're trying to get to their news article. We all know who I'm talking about. So, Ghost Recon, I got invited to a multiplayer beta test for Ghost Recon Wildlands this past week, but it was for PC, and I'm like, I know my PC can't even run it. I'm sure, so I'm not even gonna bother.
so
Bother
you
with
mailed it and sent it to me. How nice of you.
It was a login. I'd have to give you my login type of thing. I
Oh.
didn't get it.
Yeah, never mind.
So it's one of these log in and type of deals. But Ghost Recon Wildlands is going to get multiple betas before it is released on March 7th of next year. The open world third person shooter is going to get open and closed betas coming next quarter, which will actually be January through March for Ubisoft's quartering. The goal of the betas will be to help players get to know what the game is and what it can become. They say it can be a revolutionary game, and to compare with the Division last year, it's in the same trend actually. He's a Guillermo, his name Yves Guillermo, said adding the feedback so far has been excellent. So if you are, I've heard some negative stuff, but again, I'm excited about this game, and I'm hoping that this fills the itch that I have from the Graw 2 co-op mission days.
Yep.
That's what I'm hoping this game will kind of be like. But we are going to get open betas. So if you aren't looking forward to it or don't know, you will have a chance to try it out, at least part of it, to get a taste for what the game is going to be like before the game releases. And I will be all over that on the console.
Yeah, I'm pumped for it too. So ever since they first announced it. So, Jason, how's your Broncos doing?
They're currently down by 1 touchdown. They're in the fourth.
Ooh.
So
they're gonna
20-13 with like 12, 13 minutes left. They're showing a comparison thing right now, so I can't see the exact time.
they're gonna disappoint you. You know that, right?
You know, Jason,
Yeah.
I can probably still get you in over in a Dallas bench over there. You know, if you want to come over, be with a good team, you know, support a winning team, I might be able to sneak you in.
Okay. Well, I should automatically be able to.
You live in Texas, you know.
I was gonna say yes.
Yep. They got the rookie of the year on their team.
Yeah. Yeah, that Prescott guy is doing real well. But
Oh,
yeah,
it's not him. It's not him.
Run's fishing for an opportunity to do a plug again for his favorite college team.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Zeke is getting the rookie of the year. So, but all right. So any topics or anything you want to kind of discuss or talk about, Jason?
Just I really can't think anything like specific. I mean, the only thing really going on with me is that my personal collection keeps on getting bigger.
Yeah. What is so okay? A lot of people may know you. People that have been listening to the show for a long time, but we've gotten new people that don't know who you are and don't know what you do. So why don't you kind of cover kind of go over everything real quick so people get to understand.
Well, I have a twin brother, which I think all y'all know. Of course, Mark has met my brother and I a few years ago. We have been collecting. Well, we've had all our stuff our whole life, from all the way to Nintendo, Atari, all the way to current since we were kids, and we've gone back even farther. Got some Odyssey and some other stuff. But ever since we graduated high school in the late '90s, we have got real serious. My brother worked for Babbage's Software, etc., Funko Land, all came into GameStop eventually for many years. And back in the early 2000s, their discount I think was 25% at the time, I think, and we ended up buying a lot of retro stuff: Saturn, Super Nintendo, Genesis, a lot of the stuff that was only 5, 10, 15 years old at that point, and we made out like crazy. And ever since high school, we've kind of got real serious about buying games, and we're the physical collectors. And we're our brother just updated the collection earlier. We're 29 games, I think, away from 7,000 physical games.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's all the way from Magnavox, Odyssey, Atari, Nintendo, all the way to current to PS4, Xbox One. Even the Wii, we're like 2 or 3 games short of having the entire Wii U system, which is pretty sad because it's been out it came out the year before, so 4 years I think now, and it's probably, I think, right short of I think it's under 200 games for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're going to stop. What? They're stopping production of the Wii U here in the next
Mhm.
week or so.
Yeah, according to that rumor that's going around online, because of the now NX what was NX now the Switch coming out in March supposedly. But I mean, it's something my brother and we didn't ever think nothing of it 15 plus years ago when all this started, and we just kind of kept on growing and amassing stuff. We've had people donate, give us stuff that they want to get rid of. Like 10 years ago, I forget, we had a friend of a friend that had a collection that he just gave us. I don't know, probably a couple hundred games, and he had like the first 100-something issues of Nintendo Power that he gave us. And so it's nice having all those old Nintendo Powers for all those classic NES games, where they used to do all the walk through strategy things for. So it's like nice that having all that to browse at all the stuff. I mean, we've got boxes and boxes full of controllers and accessories. And lucky me and my brother are both married with kids. My brother has 3 kids. I've got 1 now. But we both have wives that are cool and supported. And especially my wife, she plays some with me. We actually bought that crappy Ghostbusters game that came out in the summer. But it's something that we can play together, couch co-op whenever my son's asleep or something. It's nice to have a wife that wants to play with me. So it's been cool. We've been doing that, and she actually goes game hunting with me, or my brother if we go. Sometimes me and her just go, and we'll hit up the retro stores around town here in Houston. So it's pretty cool.
Jason.
What you got?
See this. Is this anything that would be benefit to your collection? Ms. Pac-Man for the Genesis?
I'd have to. I'm on my phone here right now, but I've got an app on the phone that we have our whole collection. My brother uploads it, does all of it to his PC, and he sends the through the application to our phones to keep up to date, so we don't buy doubles. But I can get with you on that when we get done. I can look it up to see if we have it or not. That version. We have multiple versions of Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man on many consoles and handhelds.
If you want it, if you don't have it, you're welcome to it. I don't even know if it works. I found it in the house I bought this year.
Wow.
Found it. So I've been holding it. Keep wanting to get with you and see if you would want that. So let me know.
Yeah, if anybody wants to contact or talk retro games, I'm always happy to. People can hit me up on Xbox Live or on the TXL Facebook group. I mean, I talk about everything. I mean, I don't play my PS4 and Wii U as much, of course, because I am a majority Xbox fanboy more than anything. But I don't hate. I'm not into the old console war stuff. I play everything.
You looking forward to the Switch?
Yes, I am. Is it exciting to me? No, because it's just, to me, all it is just a slightly altered version of the Wii U. It's still kind of not. It's still a tablet per se. Kind of. I don't know what Nintendo can do. They're in their own path, and I want them to succeed, but I don't see it happen realistically.
We were talking about this, and I saw an article where they're saying that the price is going to be $399 starting for the Switch. And to me, I'm just like, there is no way it's $399. I was like, the most they can go is $299 if they want to sell those things. And, we kind of had a discussion. I was like, $249, maybe $299 if they pack in a game with it. But $400 you are asking just to fail. I mean, I know it's new and everything, and I really would like one in my house. I mean, my kids love Nintendo and stuff. But if you're releasing a console and everything you've really shown is games that are already going to be out on Wii U, or you're just re-releasing, and you're going to be more expensive than an Xbox One, more expensive than a PlayStation or PlayStation Pro, it's just, I don't know what they're thinking if they're going to think it's $400. I like their. I don't think
it's not marketed at kids.
I know it's not.
That.
I know it's not.
It's not marketed as kids because there's no way I'd let my kid walk out of the house with the Switch.
Right.
I'm going to a friend's house. Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Not with that.
I understand that, but I mean, I like what they're doing. I think it's cool, but it's not like, it's not $400 cool. I'd rather buy a PlayStation Pro and spend $400 on that.
If it was an Xbox, capable.
Yeah.
That's what I wish the Surface tablet could do. I wish it
To
could
be honest-
just play the Xbox games on my Surface. That boom, done. I'm not buying anything else. Buying a Surface. I got my wireless controllers. I can hook up by Bluetooth. I'm sitting there playing Diablo 3 on the plane.
Yeah.
How awesome would that be?
Yep.
I'm actually contemplating a PS4 Pro only because I do own a 4K TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do love my Xbox One S, and I've gotten hooked on the 4K movies, and I mean, just the picture is just amazing. And I have yet to be able to test out Forza Horizon or Gears yet. I have Gears installed. I haven't done Forza, but I need to do Gears to really see how it looks.
You got to really watch this whole thing when it comes to 4K and with the S and with the PlayStation Pro. I know the S says 4K media, like video and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hear PlayStation saying that I don't think it's 4K gaming. Did they state 4K gaming? They state 4K gaming, but it's not 4K. So I mean, I don't know what they're throwing
I
out
think
there.
Sony, if I recall, and this is what Phil Spencer was talking about. Sony is saying 4K gaming, but it's like upscaled to 4K. It's not native 4K,
Right.
which is why the Xbox or Project Scorpio is true 4K, and that's what they're talking about. So there's going to be a big difference.
Right.
The Pro is upscaled. Also, the Pro doesn't have an Ultra Blu-ray drive in it, where the Xbox One S does. So for people looking for that, I think if you want the 4K and for videos and stuff like that, then for movies you're going to want to get an Xbox One S, because you get the Ultra Blue drive and the 4K video.
Yeah, if you're talking about physical discs, they both play 4K. They both play 4K video if you're streaming and download and stuff like that.
Right.
But if it's a disc, Xbox One S is the only one that has a 4K player in it. You're right.
But like what Jason was talking about too, though, is HDR, which Gears and Forza have.
Right.
The HDR, which the Xbox One S has capability of that. So, yeah, that and I'd be curious, Jason, when you get to mess with that and get to see what those look like on that TV, let us know what you think of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to leave a message or something for next show and let you know.
Because I don't have either one of those on HDR or 4K. I was trying to talk the wife into let me buy a new TV this weekend, and she wouldn't let me do it. So.
I mean, heck, to be honest, mine was right under $1,000, and I bought it like a couple months ago. It really wasn't that expensive. I kind of looked around and decided I actually went with the Sony Bravia instead of the Samsung, because it was like the same specs compared to the Samsung, but Samsung was like $400 more, and I'm like, well, I really did my homework, and I'm like, well, why don't I pay $400 more just for? I love Samsung, it's what I use, but now not after the Note 7 and their washing machines now, supposedly.
Yeah, they're having a bad year.
Yeah, they're not having a good
they
year.
are.
So,
But other than that, is there anything y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to ask me, or have y'all been curious besides Mark with your game there about me? Is there anything y'all ever want to ask me about collecting or anything?
Oh, actually, I did have something. So when we're talking on the show and we're talking digital only, or that we buy digital only, and we mentioned Democulus, like, oh, well, we know somebody that has a collection and stuff, like everybody, Democulus is the guy we're talking about when we say that.
Yeah, I figure that.
Yeah, well, I know you knew it, but I mean, as far as everybody else, if they recall us saying, because I'm strictly digital only. What's your thoughts on that? When do you think it's so? Two questions. Do you think it's eventually going to happen where it's where we're in a digital only world when it comes to gaming? And then what are you going to do at that point? Are you going to, because you can still do a collection. I know it won't be physical and it won't be on shelves and stuff, but like myself, I have a hard drive that has every game on it, that I have. So you're still going to be able to collect and you're still going to be able to have it. You just won't be able to have, on a shelf, I guess, unless you print something and put it on the shelf and just say, yeah, it's on a hard drive. So what are you going to do when that point comes, if you think it's going to come.
First, will it come? Yes. Who knows how long? Could be 5, could be 10, could be 2. I mean, heck, I think there's still going to be room for physical media. I mean, because they're still making music CDs, and vinyl's making a comeback. It's pushing. But games, I don't know. I can see it happening for a few more years, maybe 10 tops. But after that, it's probably going to be all digital. Will I still collect current? I don't know. My brother and I have talked about that, and we're unsure when it does come to that day whether we will still collect or play the current stuff. May just stick to retro. Don't know. It's just when that day gets here, we're gonna have to decide if they're still making good games that I care for, that I want to play. I may, because I mean I do own digital games from the 360 arcade. I own over 100, I think over 150 arcade games from the 360, and I've between the free games for Xbox Live Gold, and I've bought some digital only games, but I'm willing to pay a few bucks for them, not $20, $30, $40 for almost retail for digital only. If I want to pay that much, I want to own the physical disc of it. That's just me from the collecting standpoint. But am I the digital only? It scares me. It's the argument that always comes back is that when these servers go down, the games are gone. And that's what I've listened to multiple retro gaming podcasts where they talked with the guy Victor Ireland that did Working Designs, and he runs the Monkey Paw or Gaijin Works, whatever it is now, and they want to release a bunch of these old games and make them current to where people can still play them. But the issue they always run into with the companies gone or digital stuff is who owns the rights, and it's a time and money effort thing to go and do all that to track down of who owns all the games and what. And when those servers go down at the same time, it's going to be, you're not going to have access to the games no more, and these games will be gone and lost forever and forgotten. And you're seeing this new company called Limited Run Games, which I've been supporting for the last year now. They are a smaller company. They're trying to work with Xbox to print games. They're taking indie games and putting them on physical disc, but it's only on PlayStation 4 and Vita. But Sony's allowed them to do only like 3, 4, or 5,000 print runs and sell these physical games at a low amount. They said Microsoft, their policies is what's holding them back. They have to do, I guess, a certain amount before Microsoft will let them print. Sony will let them get away with it, which it's cool. And especially a lot of these indie games that are digital only, they're trying to keep them alive by doing physical print run of them. So I hope that we can continue to do that. They continue to do that for years to come to keep these games going on. If not, well, it's just a shame that people won't have access to all these great games.
Yeah. I know there's a couple other things where, like you said, I can't remember what the law or rule or thing they're trying to get through the courts for them to allow to run these things on other servers just to keep them alive. And there's going to be like this whole community that's just what they do, is keep games running and things like that. So, but I mean, it would be nice. It'd be nice if when the server shut down, that they could patch into the game and make it not, make it hosted, client side hosted, or something like that, instead of the servers needing to be a centralized server or something like that. So dedicated server, instead of a dedicated server, it be on a client. But cool. Yeah, thanks for answering that.
Yeah, no problem. Mark, Rob, y'all good?
You guys good?
Good, man.
Yep.
Did I do have to ask though? Did you reserve his gamer tag for your son?
Well, I do have other Democuluses, yeah. So yeah, technically I do.
Democulus Junior.
Democulus Junior, Democulus 1, Democulus.
All right. So we did get last week. I had mentioned that Ross NYC gave us he had a giveaway for us to do. It's a physical copy. Jason, you gotta like that. Physical copy of Halo 5 Guardians limited edition with a steel bookcase and So our question was not Halo related, but we said, who is your Titan in the Titanfall 2 campaign? And we said the first part of his name a lot last week. We kept saying BT, but we didn't give away the whole thing. So what we were looking for was BT7274. And we did get a winner. They sent an email in to us, the one that got selected as a winner, but they did not share their gamer tag. So I've emailed them back requesting their gamer tag so we can tell everybody who won. And if you're listening, be sure to check your email because I do need your shipping address. This is a physical copy. So we'll need your name and address so that just shoot that back to us via the email, and we will be sure to work with Ross to get that out to you.
Cool. All right. So community time. Past that point. If you'd like to send us a voicemail or get a hold of us or get anything in the show, you can go to thisxboxlife.com. For voicemail on the right-hand side, you click send voicemail, follow the prompts. We get that in an MP3 format. We put it in the show, answer your question. And then if you would like to do an email, you can also go to thisxboxlife.com, click contact, fill out the form, that sends it to us, or email directly contact@thisxboxlife.com. We did get an email from our friends in Australia. They had PAX, I believe it was PAX, right, Mark?
Yes.
PAX down there. Went to one. They went there and went to a couple of the events and went in and made about a 20-minute audio of the future of gaming, I think is what it was, and they sent it to us. Asked if I mind if they did something. We're gonna listen to it this week. We're gonna go over it, and then I think what we're gonna try to do is tack it on to the show next week, so people can have it. I think when those guys were on the show, a lot of people loved hearing their stories and stuff. So it is something that we will do. They spent some time putting a nice audio together for us, so that will come next week. And so we do have a couple.
Just need time because I want to listen to it and actually, if there's anything that they talked about that we might want to talk about in the show.
Correct.
Yeah, that's why we're not tagging it on this week. Rob, Ron, and I all want to listen to it and have the opportunity to respond or talk about it in the show, and then attach that to that episode. So
right,
that'll be for you guys next week.
Yeah, yep. But as far as emails, we did get 2 emails this week. So Rob, do you want to have at it?
All right. So first one is from Bashful Llama. Hey guys, I don't know if you remember, but I used to listen to the show a lot back in the day. Played some Rainbow Six Vegas 2 with you guys and some Bad Company 1. I remember I won a contest for a free copy of the Battlefield 2142 when you guys did the Battlefield podcast. Unfortunately, I am almost exclusively PC gaming now, but I still enjoy hearing Xbox news. Just wanted to say what's up, and I'm glad that I'm back to listening.
I remember Bashful.
Oh yeah,
I remember Bashful.
Oh yeah.
So, and I still play games on PC there, Bashful. So, if hit me up if you want to. Most of my gamer tags are BJ Swick 33. So, find me on there. I don't know what games you're playing now, but we'll have to see if we can hook up online. So.
Yeah, and if you're playing Forza Horizon 3 on your PC, you can play against us on Xbox and chat in the Xbox party. We've done that with Soul Assassin. So, our worlds might come back, even if you're a PC gamer. That's at least Microsoft's vision. I'd love to see that because it was so nice to play with Soul Assassin again.
Yep.
Who's gone pretty exclusive PC. So, but welcome back, Bashful. It's been a long. When I saw that name in our email, I was like, wow, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah.
It's just like we got Dark Eye Defender was in. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but he was here when the show started.
Yeah.
Again, he was way back in the day, one of our original listeners and big part of the community. And then he
went off and
got busy. Got himself a job and a woman and left us behind.
That's the one thing I always say about Soul. I'm just like, man, Soul Assassin is like, how old are you now? And then I was like, I think you started listening to us when you were like 16.
He was like in high school. At
Yeah,
the
he's
time.
like in his 20s. Like, oh,
Yeah.
look at Darkness 429. I mean, he was on Battlefield podcast, and when he started podcasting, we were at the Xbox podcast, and he was like 15, 16 at that point in time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, man, I've known him for like 10 years now already, and it's crazy. You know, how long we've been doing this. It's been a while. So, but all right.
Welcome back.
Yep. What's the next one?
All right, next one is from Naudius Maximus. I just listened to the last episode and heard Brent talking about how slow the Xbox One is. It's not so much that it's slow, it's just Windows. And like all Windows versions and Windows software, it's bloated and full of memory leaks. Add to it that it is now a 24 hours on console, and after a while, about a week for me, there's no longer enough free memory left to function properly. The only thing to be done about it is to hard reset, as was discussed. However, if you did not know it already, there's also a way to reset that does not require pulling the plug. While it is powered on, just press and hold the console's virtual Xbox button for 10 seconds until power goes off before removing your finger. It'll power down the console and clear out all the caches, etc. You'll notice the next boot cycle that it'll take a lot longer as it has to re-find any external peripherals like drives. But once booted, it'll be back to its speedy self. That's good to know. Nice little tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like by default, when you set up your box, it asks you which power mode do you want. Do you want the one where it shuts itself completely off and it takes the longer to boot up, or do you want the one that's the instant on? I think they call it instant on, where it's a lot quicker, but you boot up and it's so it's never fully off, but then it does that's when it's supposed to update stuff in the background, and as you're sleeping, and Titanfall 2 gets a 20 gig update. It's supposed to do that at night while you're sleeping. If you do the full power off, then you won't get that option. But yeah, by going that other route, powering it off in your settings, you're basically shutting the machine down, just like your Windows PC. Because I never leave, like my wife leaves her machine on all the time. She never turns it off, and she always has issues. I turn mine off all the time, every day. Turn it on in the morning, stays on all day, turn it off at night. And I don't get those types of issues. So the only problem, and I did this for a while, I switched to the other way to power this thing off and on, but you lose your Connect. You can't walk in and use Connect to turn it on. You got to find a controller, hit the power button on it or whatever. I like to just walk in and say Xbox on, so that's why I leave it there. But yeah, I gotta do a reset every once in a while. So good to know that I'll try this next time, because I always just go and pull the plug. So keep me from reaching behind there, and I'll give that a shot.
That does make sense, because like with my work laptop, I'll run that thing maybe 3-4 weeks at a time. I never turn it off. I just close the lid and it goes to sleep, hibernation, whatever that mode is called. And then it gets so bad at some point where I'm like, man, I got to reboot. And then it's back to its normal self for another couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I could see our consoles being the same way.
Yeah, my PC here, I turn hibernation off. I just leave the thing on.
Yeah, mine's on all the time.
Back in the day, it's like, oh, you got to turn them off, otherwise they're going to burn out. They're going to die. No, they're not.
No.
The whole, and then it's like, well, you can't turn it on and off all the time. You're going to kill it. No, just leave it on. No, you're not going to kill it by turning it off once a day or turning it on once a day. Leave it on all day, turn it off when you go to bed, and then you're fine. And turn the whole freaking hibernation. That's the first thing I do when I reinstall or get a new machine. First thing I do, shut down hibernation, man. I do not want it turning off.
Yeah, I leave my computer on all of the time. All of the time. So, but cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for the emails. Again, contact at thisxboxlife.com or the contact up in the menu on thisxboxlife.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. It's thisxboxlife.com/Twitter. And where everybody kind of mainly hangs out and everything is on Facebook, and that is thisxboxlife.com/Facebook. That'll take you to our group. It is a closed group, but we just kind of glance, make sure you have a Facebook account older than 1 day. Don't have horrible pictures or say horrible things, and then if all that matches, then we allow you in. So great community over there, by the way. Very respectful, and people like to talk about games, so it's a good time. And new releases.
Got a couple of things this week for Xbox One. Cartoon Network, Battle Crashers. Then Marvel Pinball Epic Collection Volume 1. Xenoraid. Of course, Dishonored 2, coming out on the 10th. And Handball 17.
Sweet. Dude, game of the week right there, man. Handball 17.
Yes.
No,
It's a game we're not really familiar with here in the United States.
yeah, I'm getting 2 of the games this week. I'm getting the Marvel Pinball and the Dishonored 2.
Yeah, Dishonored. I'll definitely be getting that, just not right away because I have so much other stuff to play. And I'm like, I think I have like an hour and a half left in the first game just to beat it. I've been meaning to go back and play. I was like, I want to beat it before the next one comes out. And yeah, I failed on that. So, but
Yeah, and if you pre-order it, I think it comes with Definitive Edition,
yeah, it does.
if I remember right.
Yeah. And was it instead of get Friday, you get it Thursday? I think there's
Yeah,
a day
1
early.
day. Yep.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So
Okay, whatever.
yep.
And nothing for the 360.
Right.
Games with gold. You gonna say something?
Yeah, so Dishonored 2 is coming out on the 10th,
Mhm.
which is
Thursday.
So what happened all of a sudden where all these games are coming out? Nobody's coming out on Tuesday anymore.
Yeah, it's Friday. I was just talking to my brother about that. Where are these Friday releases coming from now?
Yeah,
I don't
all of
know.
a sudden the last couple titles have all been on a Friday. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't really care. I actually like them coming out on Friday because I mean I can get it at Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific time, because they release it midnight Eastern time. But it's still a work night for me anyways. But it's like all of a sudden it's like all these years it's always been on Tuesdays. And all of a sudden, just like that, boom, everything was on a Friday, and it's like I didn't hear any news about it. It just happened.
I was kind of wondering about that. I mean, was it Tuesdays? Because if you're a retailer, you would get the shipment on Monday
Yeah.
and then sell it on Tuesday.
It's all for retail.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The whole purpose of it's for retail, and that's one thing. Like, I'm cool with like retail sticking to Tuesdays or whatever, but I really want to get to the point where it's just like, hey, our game's done. We're gonna release it here. It'll be available to download in a couple days. That's what I want to get to. Hey, we're gold. Our game's gone gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wait for 3-4 more weeks to print it so we can print it on disc for people that are going to buy it, like Democulus.
Yeah.
It's all your fault, Jason.
And everybody.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, and by the way, you can pre-download it, so it'll just sit on your hard drive until that 1K
You're not allowed
bit.
to play it.
Yeah, but you can't play it.
Even though you paid for it already. And we have your money.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be like it. I'm sorry, right? It's going to be like the movie industry where you can get a digital download 2 or 3 weeks early before the physical. I could see that happening.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, it's a good point because I pre-ordered Dishonored. What was it, like Thursday, maybe Friday, Wednesday, something like that last week. It downloaded immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, why can't you play it? It's a single-player game. It's a single-player game.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. There's no reason to have
Well,
to wait.
they got to get the servers up, and they got to do
whatever.
whatever. All that stuff should be in place by the time the game's ready to. By the time it's gone gold, where they're shipping it to manufacturing, it should be their servers should put their servers up that day then.
Yeah.
But
I understand what you're saying for the server part, but for multiplayer games, but Dishonored is a single player campaign. I mean, that's a single player game.
True, you shouldn't have to wait.
Yeah, should never have to wait.
It's ready. It's ready.
Yeah.
It's sitting in your box. Turn it on and play. So.
Yeah, and so
But it's just weird that all of a sudden all these games are now coming out on Friday.
Right.
I'm just wondering, like, why? What made that change?
Yeah, I don't
What
know.
happened? I mean, it had to be something somewhere, for all of a sudden everybody's deciding to ship on a or release on a Friday. It's never been that way.
for the weekend.
Yeah. So Sober David says, I know over here in Ireland, games used to be released on Fridays, even though it was released on Tuesdays over here in the U.S. And Gunny says he likes Friday. It's payday. And he's, I work Tuesday through Friday, so I hope this becomes a regular thing. But yeah, I don't mind. I just would rather have, it's like, oh, it's been sitting on my hard drive for 3 weeks, but just let me play it. Even if
Well, I
it's
don't-
let me play the single player. You know, if you want to wait until this day for the servers to come up for multiplayer, fine. Let me play single player. Because I would have had Gears done, Titanfall done, and Battlefield done if we could have played them when they were finished. But okay, what's your games for gold?
Oh yeah, games with gold. Was it? I lost my window. There it is. So games with gold for Xbox One. We have another week of the Escapists, and yeah, another week for the Escapists, and then just started last week is Super Dungeon Brothers. Xbox 360 Monkey Island is for another week. And make sure to grab that one as well because it's backwards compatible. You can play it on your Xbox One if you have one.
Yep.
And then lastly, if you're thinking about a way, how can I support the show? What can I do? Well, here's a perfect thing you can do, especially with the holidays coming up. If you make any purchases on Amazon, you can support the show and make your purchase as well, of course, by using your affiliate link. You can find that on our website. Just go to thisxboxlife.com, click the big Amazon logo each and every time you make a purchase on Amazon. And then that way you'll get whatever you order. And we get a teeny tiny itsy bitsy little kickback for sending you their way. It does not cost you anything extra, and it helps us out. Then also another way that you can help out the show as well is if you're on iTunes, find us in the iTunes store and rate us 5 stars. That helps us become a featured podcast in the iTunes store and helps grow the community, helps people find us a lot easier. And that is all.
Okay, I got to jump in here.
Oh, okay.
I got to share something I just found.
Okay. I had one.
I was reading this as Rob was going through there, so this is off topic. If nothing is okay, if I want to go back to this Tuesday thing.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday?
I had with what?
Taco Tuesday.
No, oh gosh, I wish.
Tacos.
Taco John's, baby. Woo. So I saw this article on Business Insider back in 2014. The question was the weird reason why video games are released on Tuesdays. So I want to read this article to you guys. This is interesting. I think you guys will
let me
be
get this
surprised.
straight. You weren't paying attention to me?
I was not paying attention to you. I wanted to know why games released on Tuesdays. I still didn't answer my question. I want to know why they switched. But what I came across blew my mind why games were even released on Tuesdays. So here's the article. It wasn't easy being Sega in the 80s and the 90s. It had to compete with one of the best-known companies on the planet, Nintendo, which was responsible for bringing back the video game market from the dead. But Sega had some tricks up its sleeve, namely releasing a 16-bit console, the Genesis, before Nintendo could release its version, the Super Nintendo. Sega also had an amazing idea for how to hype up the sequel to its biggest game. The original Sonic the Hedgehog was released in '91 and was an instant hit. When it was time for the sequel, which introduced Sonic's sidekick Tails to the world, Sega knew it needed to do more than just release the game. It needed to make an impact. So in the book, Console Wars, Sega and Nintendo and the Battle That Defined a Generation, which is based on more than 200 interviews with former Sega and Nintendo employees, Blake Harris describes how Sega's crack marketing team of Al Nilsson and Madeline Schroeder decided to celebrate the launch. They needed something Sonic worthy. We're going to start in Japan, move to Europe, and then end in the US, said Sega marketing director Nilsson to Schroeder, who was the project manager of Sonic the Hedgehog. No trucks, no boats. Everything will be delivered by plane exactly one day before. We're going to have the world's first global launch, and in the process, we're going to break every single sales record, said Nilsson. They kicked around a couple ideas about what day the global launch should be, and that's when Nilsson came up with an idea that possibly changed the way games are released and marketed ever after. No, it should be on Tuesday. We'll call it Sonic Tuesday, he said, with the number 2. So Sonic Tuesday landed on November 24th, 1992. Before then, video game release dates were all over the place, and retailers just got them when they got them. But Sonic Tuesday implemented a method to the madness. Harris wrote, the idea of a coordinated worldwide release might have seemed interesting but irrelevant. But the point of the global launch wasn't to dazzle with concept. The point was that the concept created connection. Normally, with games released at different stores on different days, customers couldn't help but feel like these things sort of fell out of thin air. But to know the exact date that something would be arriving, to have it circled on the calendar ahead of time, gave the gift of anticipation. It was a marketing ploy, yes, but it worked in the same self-fulfilling way as a blockbuster film did. They're not called blockbusters just because of their budgets. Rather, it's because of the event like, don't be left out of the way. They are marketed, which makes people rush to the theater for the opening weekend, which then makes more people rush to the theater when they hear how big that opening weekend was. The art of the blockbuster is that it popularizes something before it even exists. And though Sonic 2 is still months away from completion, Sonic Tuesday gave former Sega North America CEO Tom Kalinske and the company an opportunity to unleash the biggest blockbuster the video game world had ever seen. Releasing games on Tuesday is now the industry standard in the U.S., all thanks to little video game punnery. But it's not the only industry to do so, although they don't have Sonic Tuesday to thank. Most CD and DVD releases also happen on Tuesday. So I had no clue that's where that came from. And I thought that was super cool. So I'm sorry if it was a little long, but I thought that was really interesting. Now I got to just find out why they're doing it on Fridays.
Yeah.
So,
I did have
changed it.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting though. The one thing I had extra is you messaged or you sent me an email because I always kind of cracked on the 40 million joke. 40 million, 40 million. Sony always quotes 40 million. The good news is, and I was always like, well, they'll start saying 47 million or 45 million once they pass 45. The good news is they said that they sold 3.9, or sorry, not sold. They shipped 3.9 million units last quarter or something like that. So now they're at 47 million. So I will update my number. That's a lot of consoles. But I did have to point out one little thing is they
A lot.
Huh?
It's still a lot, but go
Oh
ahead.
no, it's a ton. I'm not. There's nothing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, and I'm not one of these like Xbox is making a comeback. You know, like look out, everybody.
Don't come back.
That fight is over. I already claimed a winner 15-20 million ago. As they were going and Sony was stampeding through sales, they went 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. Each time they did that, they made sure they quoted and made sure everybody was well aware that this was sold and in customers' homes. These are being played on. They are sold. They're hooked up to TVs and they're being played. And they did that all the way up to that 40 million mark. And of course, they're probably around 44 million sold or something like that. But they did change from sold to shipped just so they could get to the 47 million mark. I think it's to make them, trying to boost those numbers again. And then still the Pro hasn't came out yet. So they'll probably get some boost there too. But let's make sure anybody, like, when I sit there and say just sprinkle a little 40 million on it, I guess I'll have to say 47 million now. But they did change from sold to shipped, by the way. Little marketing thing there.
Jason, did you get PlayStation VR?
Yes, I did.
We got to take a few minutes because I completely forgot to ask this earlier. And what's it like? Have you played it? Please say yes.
Yeah, I played it. I haven't played a whole lot of it, to be honest, because I haven't had a lot of free time because I'm trying to balance. I want to play my Xbox more, but the thing I played the most is the Batman game, the Batman Arkham VR, whatever it is. It's pretty cool actually because it asks you do all the setup, and it asks when you start the game up if you want to do it standing up or sitting down. And you got to have, I forget how much space from the TV, like 20 feet or something. I forget. They want you to have a little bit of space around you. So, but and then it asks if you want to use the controller or if you want to use the move, which I have the move, wands, whatever you want to call them. And anyway, it's cool. It starts up. You're in the mansion. You actually can go and look around in the mansion, and then you Alfred says, "I'll meet you in the Batcave." To something about with was it Nightwing? You can't get a hold of Nightwing anyway. So you go to the piano, and you actually just kind of, it don't matter what you do, but just hit the keys on the piano, and it actually will go away, and the floor go, and it'll take you down into the Batcave, and you'll see going down into the Batcave, you'll see the suit, and take you down, and you can look all around the Batcave. It's not like free roaming. It's like you can select. You say like you're looking at this part, and it'll give you like 2 or 3 things you can select, and you like grapple over there. Like a couple of seconds will load to take you over to this section of the Batcave where the computer is, or you can go. There's one thing you can go over there and look to see the Batmobile and the Batwing. I believe the flying. You can get a first person view of them up close. Anyway, then you go. I was hoping when he gave you a choice whether you want to take the Batmobile or the Batwing to go investigate where with Nightwing what would happen there, that it would allow you to like fly or actually drive there. It didn't happen. It was just a load screen. I was like, so that was kind of disappointing. But when you get to the crime scene, then you kind of like the Arkham games, you go into detective mode and you got to reconstruct the crime scene, find evidence, and reconstruct the crime scene. It's pretty cool going in first person there and look around. I mean, you can turn all the way around behind you, and it's got everything rendered. They got a full environment, 360 degrees, up, down, forward, back, behind you, all rendered. And it's just cool looking around at the scenery and the backgrounds and the details of it. And then like I haven't finished it. It's only a few hours from what I've read online because it was only a $20 budget game. There's the prices range from $20 to $60, which one of them, the $60 is Battlezone, which I think is based off the old kind of Atari Vectrex graphics type game, but they redid it in VR, and it's $60. I'm like, really, $60 for a remake of Battlezone? I don't know, if a lot of you guys or the younger people won't know what Battlezone is, but it's interesting. It's when I first put it on, it took definitely it took a little bit to get used to because it's definitely your mind and your vision, you're trying to adjust to that, and it definitely took about a good 20-30 minutes for me to adjust to that without kind of not having the blurriness or dizziness at first. But it's pretty cool so far. There's we got like 4 or 5 games for it. We what was it? There's that killer game, the Untold Dawn, but it's forget the name. It's Until Dawn something. I think it's an on-rail shooter type game. I haven't got to play that one yet. Then it came with PlayStation. It came with PlayStation Worlds, which is like a glorified demo disc. There's like a heist, kind of like a heist you can do, where you're in a vehicle and you're on like a freeway trying to do a getaway, and you can shoot motorcycle people or cars trying to chase you and stuff. Man, there was another game I can't remember. It was like I think it was a demo like the fly. I think it's by Ubisoft. They got like a bird flying VR type game. Man, there was a couple others, and I haven't played all the games I got. And then there's one coming out this week that I hadn't seen anywhere. It was called Robinson PlayStation VR. It popped up on GameStop's website like in the last couple of weeks, and I checked Amazon had it in also. So I ordered it because it was only $40, and I want to see what that one's about. I haven't got to sit down and read much details on it, but it's pretty cool so far because this is, I don't know if y'all were excited. Back in the 90s, I always thought, seeing stuff in the movies like Lawnmower Man, which wasn't a good movie, but yeah, I was always interested in VR because I always like, man, this is so cool. This is going to be the future. We can like go and get actually immersed in these worlds, and now it's here, and it's like, I've done it now. Thought it was cool for a little bit, but it's like it's okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's not. It's I guess my interest for 20 years of waiting and wanting to do it finally, and it gets here, and it's just like, okay, it's fun for a little bit, but do I really see VR lasting like I think the way Sony is? No, I don't. But it's definitely cool. So we'll have to see, give it time here in the next year or two to see how much people and companies invest in what they can do to see if we can make this the next evolution of games.
Yeah, it's only going to be as good as the support that's given to it. And it's kind of like the way I see VR is there's a lot of people talking like they want to support it, but it's more of like, well, act upon that and support it, and then it'll go places. So it's just like you look at motion controls. You had the Wii, and then you had the PlayStation Move, and then you had the Kinect, and all of them are dead. Well, not the Move controllers because the PlayStation VR, but Wiimotes are gone. They're pointless now. And so Wii Motion Control's gone. Kinect's pretty much dead. So the Move is only the Move's only there just because of PlayStation VR. It's not actually for PlayStation Move anymore. It's just for the controls for VR. So, but they got to get some support if they want it to take off. So,
I think it's okay for what the price is. It's what the Vive and the Rift. How much are they? Are they like double almost of what this is? I think.
See, Vive is 800 and Oculus is 600.
Yeah.
So,
and
the Vive is got that camera system and everything with it. And the funny thing is, like, I see all these things at work because we have a division in our department that builds games for this stuff. And I got to play with the new I got to hold in my hands the Vive controllers. There's whatever the new controllers that came out with it, and I'm waiting to see if we get the Oculus controllers, but and then put a Microsoft HoloLens on. I'm like walking around like seeing a PC in front of my face and stuck on the wall, and it's pretty neat. So, but
yeah, I mean, for the bundle I got was the 500 one that came with the camera, the Move controllers, and the PlayStation Worlds. It's cool, worth it. As far as your interest for a little while, will it maintain? I don't know. I really don't know if it will or not. We'll have to see.
What about Sorry, what about using it for a monitor for your Xbox?
I think one of y'all tried wanted me to do that, and to be honest, I never got around to do it. But I will try to do it here this week for sure. Probably Wednesday when I'm off next, and I would definitely have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
And leave a voicemail, leave comments for you guys.
Yeah, I'm curious on that because it's one of those things where it'd be cool just so I could lay on my nice comfy couch, and on my back and have the thing there. So pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks for the update and everything on that. I'm glad you brought that up, Wing. I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is that it, guys? Is that everything?
I think so. I don't got nothing else.
All right. Good. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks everybody who came out and the new follows and everything. We appreciate it. We will be back next Sunday at 10 Eastern. So with that, run BJ Swick 33.
I'm Rob, also known as Presar. Thanks for listening.
I'm Mark, aka Wingman 709, taking off.
I'm Jason, aka Democulus. Have a good night, everybody.